According to the BLS, that is the Bureau Labor of Statistics. Statistic, not statistic, my bad. 87.9 or basically 88% of nurses are female. And that leaves only 12% of men that are nurses, right? Why is that important? I want people to really understand why there's a thing called nurse bullies and why people don't like their preceptors. I guess I've learned that today. That means basically like a mentor that helps newer students or stuff like that, try to like guide them. That's their role, is to try to guide them into this field of being a nurse and etc. And just hearing just a horror story, even just by patients. Like, you are a nurse and you are impatient with your patient. And I would hear the stories all the time about my grandmother with her mother when she was living, like, hey, she's never going to go to a nursing home. Because, I mean, I was a kid. I didn't understand any of that. I'm like, well, why? What's so bad about nursing home? Now that I got older, man, I'm afraid it's either you die young, get hit by a truck, right? And it's just instant, like you're gone, right? Okay, yeah, it hurts, but like you're gone. Or you go through that, man. Like, I'm literally listening, and I've heard stories of like nurses literally not caring. I'm talking about like leaving them in their own filth. And listen, let me just say this real quick, right? I understand that dealing with customers, dealing with people in general, especially older people, because I've worked in places where you have to deal with older people, you know, like at a coffee shop or sandwich shop like Panera back in the day. And yeah, they'll be the, you know, in there in the morning just acting a straight ass. I'm talking about like it doesn't, like, I'm talking about because they're very short with their request, and they're very impatient themselves. You know, they ain't got too much time, so they don't really care. But if it's not something that you can handle, please just do not do that job. That's just my advice. I don't care if you're a man or a woman. Okay? I don't care if you're a man or woman. Do not handle that job. And also, I just want to read this. They say in 2025, 15% of women in the U.S. were on antidepressant, according to the CDC, more than twice the rate for men that were on 7.4% on antidepressants. So there's a lot of people taking stuff to help them with anxiety, etc., and just being, you know, trying to get through the day. I get that, but you know, you got a lot of women that they just cannot handle stress, especially not like men. I just don't think they're built for it, because women go off emotions more than they go off logic. Do we all have logic? Yes. Do we all have reasons? Yes. But it's like, for me, first of all, let me just get into introducing myself. My name is Ken. This is Ken's Locked In. I know the name seems cool. Hopefully it sticks. And this is a podcast where I just kind of want to go over about my past experience with jobs, you know, customer and coworker relationships, even dating to a degree, right? Because we also have a poor dating market, and it's especially, I would never recommend you date somebody at your job or even try to talk to them. I don't care if they like you or whatever. Please just not do it. People run their mouth all the time. But let's just get into this one, right? Let's just talk about like the nurse bullies. So the things I'm hearing about with nurse bullies is just them being petty and catty. You know, women, you know, you got to understand, as I've gotten older, I'm 34 years old, women just like to be petty. It's like Mean Girls, like the movie, where like if you're not with us, if you're not agreeing with us all the time, if you're not trying to, you know, be around, like, you know, they're gonna like try to cast you out, right? They're gonna make it hard for you. You can imagine if you have a preceptor, I guess that's the person supposed to be over you and stuff like that. Because again, you would think that people would take a job that they can do, and I'm not trying to get sidetracked. And please forgive me for the lack of editing for this one. This is my first episode. Plus, I just think that I want you guys to just listen while you guys are working out, doing your job, etc. Don't pay attention too much about the background. Just understand what I'm saying. If you want to fact check me, please, or correct me on anything on the data, please let me know in the comments respectfully. But here's the thing. I need people to stop taking jobs that they just cannot handle. Like, for example, don't take a position just because it's more money, right? Don't take a position because, I want to be a supervisor, I want to be a manager, but I don't have leadership qualities, meaning I am very impatient with people. Not saying me, I'm a great leader. I just know my lane. I'm never going to talk about my personal job here, though, because I'd just rather not conflict anything. But I just need people to understand the logic. Please understand the logic. Just because it's more money doesn't mean it's for you, right? Like, people confuse that all the time, and then this is why they end up hating their job and resenting it, because you already don't like what you do. But then, you know, you're gonna have days where it's just like me. I work by myself. I don't care who comes to work or not. I get my job done regardless. I haven't missed a shift in almost 3 years. I'm good. But you got a lot of people that get into these fields because they're trying to look for a job and they're trying to do something. So I don't care if you're a man or a woman, please stop taking on things that you just cannot handle just because it's more money. Because what does that mean? You're not feeling good about what you do. You hate what you do. You take that home with you. It's stressing. That's a heart, disease, failure. All that stuff end up coming into play because you're so stressed. I'm not saying it's easy out here. You got to do what you got to do, man. I get that. Okay. And you have a lot of single mothers out here who is out here just trying to make it. I get that. Right. But I also think you got a lot of women who choose not to get with a man or stay with the baby daddy or whatever. That's a whole nother thing that I would like to talk about. But that's the thing. It's like, I just think a lot of women, they get into these fields like trying to take care of other people. A lot of them can't even take care of their own kids. They can't. And then you're going to get out here and try to do it as a job or a profession, or you're a travel nurse, which I'm not even going to talk about travel nurses yet. I would never talk to a data traveler. It just doesn't even make sense. But I'm just basically saying that you have a lot of women who are talking about like this one clip I was watching. This girl said, she was just talking to her perception. She was talking to somebody. She was talking to somebody about like, and it was taken out of context. She just said that she don't know what she's doing or like she just don't understand what her expectations are as far as what she's trying to do. She told a woman that, and what she ended up doing? She ended up yapping out the mouth, telling somebody, oh, she feels like she's not, this is not for her, or this is not the best, or she doesn't really like she took it out of context. And it's like playing telephone, right? Where, people like run at the mouth and they say things and then the story just switches up and it's not even what you said. But the problem is that now they looking at you funny. Like, well, you think you're better than us? And believe it or not, even at the jobs that I've had, people don't like when you try to move up. They don't like that if you're a happy person, like you're just a chill vibe. I've noticed that because I meditate, right? Like, I'm not stressed. It's just that when I'm at my job, I just try to keep it professional. Straight to the point, do my job, go home. Because I've learned back in the day, trying to be friendly, buddy, it doesn't work. Trying to talk to, a chick at your job like that, and then everybody know about it, or you ran your mouth, or they did it, or it gets back to HR. It just doesn't work, right? So that's why you shouldn't. But I just think around women, I'm not, and I just want to be very clear, because I think a lot of people don't understand what misogyny means. Because you got some chick that I probably listen to this and be like, oh, it sounds like misogyny or whatever. No, I don't. I hold women accountable just like I would hold a man accountable. So it's just called equality. It's not me being a misogynist. A lot of women don't even understand what that word means or that term means. It's the hatred of women. That's not what that is. I've seen a lot of misandry. That's the pure hatred of men. I've heard women say that a lot. Like they literally have said it. I just hold people accountable, and I just think that it's one thing for a man. I just feel, first of all, I just feel bad for like the man nurses. They're only 12%. They represent a very small percentage. But I just feel bad for them, really, because it's just like, I can imagine if they treat other women like this, and all they're probably going to be doing is trying to get back at each other, trying to be petty and cry. And then whoever they're dealing with is probably just going to get annoyed, and it's just going to be a headache, because it's like, we're not going to really get to the point. We're just going to try to argue and try to one up each other. It might be a fight. It's fair game between, women. But with a man, it's like, you can literally, it's not even just what you say, it's what they'll believe. I'm gonna say that one more again, because that sounded very powerful, very good. It's not just what you say, it's what they'll believe. And even me just even talking about this, I have to be careful with who I even share this to. I don't want people to know, because it's like, I've seen a lot of people get fired. Like, I've seen a lot of, like, even watching these nurses on this TikTok, a lot of women and guys too do it too. I just want to be clear, I'm not just saying it's just only women, but guys do this too. But they'll jump online and they'll be complaining and about their job and what they hate, but then they be having a whole uniform on, and then you'll be at the job like, what are y'all doing? Like, are you trying to get fired? And then we complain. See, again, I'm a man of accountability. You don't have to get online. You can vent to your cat. You can, because, hey, they say about a year 2030, I think they say 45% of women will be single. So a lot of you already have cats. That's why I invested in Chewy. But you can vent to your cat. You can vent to, your mama. If she's around, you can vent to your boyfriend or whatever. I don't care. Why are you venting to TikTok online? Even I'm covert right now. And I don't even have any subscribers right now. Like, even I'm covert. And I'm not trying to even talk about what I do and where I'm at. And let nobody know where I'm at. Like, I'm not even going, like, I can't do that, because it's just like, I've you can't do that. It just doesn't. I remember I did that one time at an old job where I got let go because I just said, hey, I'm just frustrated with the job. I was kind of just venting online, and then somebody who was following me from the job saw that and let me go. Now they tried to get me back, but nah, see, because they knew how goated I was. I was very good at being like a clerk at a pharmacy. I was that dude, right? I was MJ / LeBron and Kobe and Curry. Like, what you mean? And Tim Duncan. Like, what you mean? Right? But once you let me go, I ain't going back. Nah, we don't move backwards. We keep going. But that let me know, hey, watch what you put online, y'all. These Gen Zs and us millennials, because I'm a millennial, we have to be careful what we put out here, what we say out here. Trying to show your face. You got to be careful, because there's like even having opinions these days is tough. I'm only just telling y'all what they do. I'm just like, these girls, they'll get, especially women, because a lot of them are on TikTok. They'll get online and everybody's a reporter. They get online, they talk about their job, they talk about the person they don't like, and I be seeing them in Walmart uniform on and stuff. And I'm sorry to get off the topic, but it's just like, this happens everywhere. The whole point of just make it scary for me is just like, I don't know how old I'll be when I pass, and I don't like to even think about it, honestly. But to be in a place where it's just that's just scary, man. Like, that's just scary. It's just like they always talk about like the man being very aggressive and the man, because I've seen guys crash out too. And I'm just telling you right now, it's different when guys crash out versus women. Like, if I crash out as a man, I can just only hope I get let go. I hope that they don't call cops and I get locked up. When a woman crash out, she have to do like the absolute worst for her to get locked up. They're just gonna hear her cry in the office and do all of that stuff. That's just not the same. It's just not the same as guys. Anyway, I'm sorry. So to make the long story short, when it comes to the female nurse, I just think that for us to think that these women are the home taking care of their kids and all of that stuff like that, and a lot of them are on drugs, man. A lot of them do not hate, like, a lot of them do not like working. They do not. We live in an equality world, and everybody wants to make their money. They want to have their independence, but it's like, you just should not become a nurse. I don't, because here's the thing that would scare me about it is I would never, at least for me, I just know, like, if it's just not for me, it's just not for me. I would never want to mistreat anybody, or not give them their meds if they need it. But then again, hey, you don't know if they could be very angry, or maybe they just asking for the pain meds. Like I said, I'm not a nurse. I don't do that kind of stuff. But this one girl said something on one of the videos. She was just like, I thought the doctors, like the men doctors, would be worse, but it was actually the females. She said that many times they have shunned her. Every time she tried to have a conversation with them, they would shun her, right? Or, hey, they ran up off the mouth, Oh, they think that you're trying to get a higher position, so then they start trying to sabotage you. That's just what women do. Women are in competition all the time. I don't care how much they say that they're not. They are in competition. You just have to understand that. See, with men, we know that there's a competition with us. We understand that, hey, guess what? You have to get out here and go get it. No one's going to come save us. We don't have a bunch of sugar mamas lining up to try to save the average man who's broke or just a blue collar worker. But you got the other way around. You got a lot of guys that wouldn't mind coming and grab these chicks. But then again, a lot of them are just hard-headed. Right? And to me, that scares me in the sense of like, well, what if you don't want to take care of, like what if I leave you around, like if I have a child with you and I leave you, with the kid, and you're just on this antidepressant and you're stressed out, and then everything's my fault, and then everything. See, it's kind of hard. See, it's easy to blame a man, but when it comes to them, it's just like, this is what they do. And the thing is, if people want to look at me and say, well, I'm not sure if that's true, or it just sounds like, y'all can go on TikTok. That's one of the best things I can tell people right now. And I don't go off my data off of anecdotal experiences. I understand that's not what you should do. You should not go off anecdotal experiences, because everybody have them, right? Exceptions to the rule and stuff like that. But you can just go on TikTok. They'll complain about it. And I don't care. It's not even just with nursing. You can go to any job. More times than not, I am seeing women complain way more than I see men. Way more. Do I see men? Yes. Because I know there's going to be somebody who, if they see this video, I see men do it all the time. Yes, you and your two eyeballs see it all the time. But the vast majority of women, they're always into it with a chick. They're always trying to be petty, right? And they're just trying to get it back at you. And it's just like, again, like, you got to think like I just think to be in a sense where you have to work them long hours. I don't know how long hours, how many hours I can actually try to, cause listen, I'm all about trying to like learn myself, right? So this is not This is live for me, but it will be edited for you guys. But this is live for me. Let me see something. Let me see. Hours for nurses. Just curious, right? I'll just go to it. So nurses typically work 36 to 40 hours per week, but the specific schedule can vary significantly based on the type of healthcare facility and the nurse's role. Full-time nurses often work shifts of 8 to 10 to 12 hours. Part-time nurses will work fewer hours, typically less than 30 per week. And so it's them just, and again, them dealing with like, because here's the thing too, I will say this, I will give them this. I can imagine trying to like wipe up somebody, you know, they have, you know, they use the restroom on them, the bathroom on themselves. That take a lot of like, you know what I mean? But you're taking on, as a caretaker, you're taking on that role. You understand what I'm saying? You're taking on that role. And the last thing you would think is, hey, you have a preceptor that's trying to help you, but then she is being petty. Because again, can there be a male preceptor? I'm pretty sure there can be. I'm pretty sure that often there are some. But if there's 88% of women, you're dealing with a mad woman who's stressed out. And that's not even counting her home life. Okay? That's not even counting her home life. Like, I got things going on with me. I lost 4 family members in the past year. But I go to work and I crank it out. My job is very backbreaking. But as a man, I enjoy feeling needed. I enjoy feeling like I contribute to society and I'm doing something versus me being out here begging on the streets. Okay? I can't be out here begging and not making no money, and it's hot. I'm seeing people like, you know what I mean? And I live within my means too. But you got a lot of these women, they're not living within their means. A lot of them getting their car repossessed, getting evictions. A lot of people are losing their jobs. AI is taking over a lot of stuff of what these, you know, chicks can do. And what some of these men can do. Even like as freelancers and all of these type of stuff. So my biggest thing is that, you know, you also want to stay within your means and stuff like that. So and the reason I bring all that up is because you can imagine not everybody can just leave their stuff at the door. That's why I know it seems like it's not totally irrelevant, but the reason why I bring these things up because people just can't, not everybody can just leave their stuff at the door. When I'm at work, let's leave it at the door. I don't care what I got going on. I basically live at my job. I basically live there, and I don't hate it. I don't hate it. It's peace of mind. I have the autonomy to do what I want, and you know, and again, I'm okay with not making all the money. As I say this, you know, you shouldn't take every position. You know, don't take a manager position, don't take a supervisor position if you're not a leader. Don't be a preceptor if you're not a leader. Don't be petty. And this is the one thing I will say before I close, because I don't want to make this too long. Please quit. Don't tell everybody your business, man. Just don't. Friends, be friends at home, and your workers are your workers. Yes, that sounds boring. You in a work, because the thing about it is, as a man, I understand, like, it's like a jungle to us. And it's like that with women, but they just don't like to admit it. But it is, right? Everybody competing. But as men, it's like, we know we have to be very careful with, like, how we come off. Because it's like, with us, it's like up front, right? Versus women, it's like on the back end. Backhand compliments, you know, so it's just like, you have to be careful with what you say, especially if you're a guy. If you're a male nurse, you really got it, because you're in a place where there's mostly 8 times out of 10 it's gonna be women all the time. Like, it's gonna be there. You have to be careful, especially trying to come off. Then HR, this one guy, before I closed, said that he was talking to, he was a male nurse, and he went to HR because his preceptor was being rude to him and being catty, saying that you wasn't doing this, you wasn't doing that. And then it was just the way they were talking. Then saying he was an Asian male, and she was being very racist towards him, calling him Jackie Chan. Just stuff that, you know, again, there's people who can just get away with certain things. You know, certain sexes people can get away with certain things that I just know a man would just get locked up for just even looking a certain way, right? I mean, because we're definitely not the bear that these girls choose, right? But when he went to talk to HR, who was likely a woman, you know, she, I guess she heard about it from HR or whatever, because, you know, girls like to run their mouth and gossip, and told on him. And then she pulled him into the closet and was yelling at him, saying this and saying that. And it's just like, that's just scary, man. I don't heard too many stories about people getting, guys or getting, like, been in situations where people getting lied to. Because again, I'm not saying men are completely innocent. I get that too. But y'all gotta understand how, like, powerless it can feel. This is why at my job, I'm telling you this now, I don't care how I look. And it's crazy because when I'm quiet and I just do my job and I don't focus on just because you look nice, I understand at a workplace, you're going to meet people that's going to have similar interests. They're going to, like, for example, like if you kind of talk about the game, somebody's talking about, LeBron, or somebody's talking about Curry or NBA, just basketball stuff. I understand why you might want to chime in. There's nothing wrong with, people are going to have natural, similar interests. People are going to have that. You like to talk about cars, you like to talk about girls and whatever. But you got to be careful with, at a place where this is, you don't crap where you eat. You don't stick your pen in company ink. That means they don't even date chicks or a man at your job because you don't want to mess up your money. And I've seen too many people in the industry, come in and mess up their money because they was too cool. I hung out one time with somebody, a couple people after work, and I said never again because it was not good for me at all. So I just think that, you have to learn how to separate that stuff. But then you damn if you do, you damn if you don't. You got some people, especially with women, if you try to, okay, you can't win really, because I think if you try to be cool with them, you might risk saying something that they might just tell your business. But then if you don't, you might come off like you're stuck up, and then you might be too goody two shoes, and then they might try to like cash you out and try to be petty and bully you and try to, just complain, and it's like they need to be. So that's what's just scary about people. But unfortunately, people like that exist in this world. So, but yeah, in recap, I just think that, I know I talked about all this kind of stuff here. That's kind of what I do. Cause I just think even with this, cause the thing is, even just on this podcast, I want to be clear, like the stuff that's talking about from here, as far as like the thing that's really messed up to me are the patients that's being cared by these women. And it maybe even some male. Again, there are male nurses, but these are people who are like very vulnerable and they need help. And a lot of them are defenseless and they need your help. And if you're just being very aggressive and not caring, I remember this had nothing to do with nursing because I had very cool nurses. They was cool when but I took an edible by mistake. And I thought it was a delicious scone. But I didn't read that it was an edible and it was 25 milligrams. And I'm talking about, I thought I was about to die that day. I'm talking about, it was 2 days before my vacation. I thought I was gone, man. I'm serious. I thought I was gone. Like, I thought I was I didn't pass out, but I was close. But the way, like, the cops were there and, like, this woman thought I was on drugs. She thought I was, like, a regular user. Just the dispatcher, the way they were talking to me, it was just very disrespectful. And the way they were staring at me, like, I've never felt so. This had nothing to do with nurses. It's just me, just like this lady cop just looking over me, trying to tell me about that she know a couple edible spots. And I'm just like, she don't even understand or care to understand that I don't even understand what she's talking about. I'm like, what are y'all talking? Because in my mind, I know I ain't doing. It was literally a mistake. I was trying to support a business that's doing pretty well now, but they didn't have a sign. Some people said I should have sued, but they didn't have any signs that says that they were edible. He just gave me a free scone, and I just ate it. And he worked there, and I didn't realize that I passed out. Literally, I passed out. Like I've never felt that before. I passed out. Woke up. I was playing a game, and I got if you I think they say if you do a chewable or something, it goes through your system immediately. But if you eat it or something, it takes like 3 hours. Especially on an empty stomach. Thank God I wasn't on a medication. I wasn't drinking alcohol. Literally, I passed out. Woke up, and I didn't even know I was passed out until I woke up. And I'm like, I looked inside there. I'm like, something's wrong. Had to call my dad, all this stuff. And it says, oh, the high crowd. I'm like, oh, shit. Okay. Didn't know. Wasn't aware. Didn't know. Just did something stupid. Yeah. So now I'm stuck paying a medical bill for like 3 years. But hey, I'm glad that I'm all good. But I never felt closer to God that day. As far as me damn near seeing the gates. I thought I was gone. Because I'm like, I've never felt like I was about to die like that. But the point is, it's just cold and how defenseless I was. I can imagine if I needed help as an older person and I'm in a nurse place, and somebody's trying to be aggressive with me. That is just scary, man. Like, it's like you either just die early, maybe you get eaten by a bird that's a giant Zapdos from Pokemon, or you get older and I don't know, man. But hey, you guys let me know what you guys think. Hope you guys like this episode and stuff like that, and just give me your honest feedback. Do you know any nurses that are kind of aggressive? Do you work in the nursing field? Do you work around other nurses? How is it? Is it catty? Is it? I kind of already know what it is, because I just think the things that I'm saying is transferable to basically every job. Men will have to deal with a lot of emotions. You also got, people are gossip. Men and women are gossip. So I know a lot of guys who are doing that too. I just want to be clear. But we all know who mostly are the gossipers the most. That's just how it is. The office talks. People just like to, and I just think the best thing you can do is just go to work. I don't care. I do not care. Go to work. Do your job. Go home. It's just that simple. I don't have a catchy phrase to go out with, so I'll bid you guys a good night. Have a blessed day. Stay safe. And peace.